Hey guys, Hello Bella here, and in this video we're going to be talking about my first low buy month. This was January 2023. If you don't know, I have set out to do a low buy / no buy year for 2023 because I noticed that my shopping habits were, I'm going to say, more of a reflex and a coping skill for me. I don't necessarily spend that much money. For me, it was more about the time wasted and the mental energy that I have been spending shopping in the last couple of years. And I've noticed that, the frequency of my trips to like the thrift store or places like TJ Maxx were at least once a week, and I've just started to realize that like all of that time that I've been spending going shopping as a reflex could definitely be better spent. So in this video we're going to kind of talk about some of the decisions that I've made when it comes to purchases and some of the things that I'm trying to change, and overall just kind of like how this first month went. I feel like it was a really big success for me because I did not realize how much of like the mental energy shopping was taking up for me. So we're going to talk about the things that I passed on, the things that I did buy, and I'm going to give an explanation for them. And then we're also going to talk about like kind of like the lizard brain element of shopping and why, I don't know, why do we feel pulled to make those purchases? So as far as the rules that I set for myself, the only big rules were that I was not going to buy any more athleisure, no more like soaps and toiletries and things like that, because I have a bad habit of stocking up on things that are on sale. And one of my toxic traits is that I like to save money, but also I don't like, once I get those things and accumulate them, I'm not necessarily excited to use the things in my stockpile. It's almost like I want to go buy something new. I don't want to pull from the stockpile. So the stockpile honestly just kind of winds up being this reserve army of products that I never actually want to use. So I'm really trying to be more intentional about that. So one of the rules is that if I buy one thing, I have to get rid of the same thing. So I bought a sleep shirt and I threw away my old sleep shirt that I've been sleeping in for 3 years. It had holes all in the front of it, and it actually just started to smell kind of weird. Even after I would wash it, it would still smell, and I was like, I've got to get rid of this. So I kind of like mentally prepared myself, and then I bought myself a new giant comfy sleep shirt and I threw the old one away. So I was pretty proud of myself for doing that this month. And that's just one example of how I want to have, if one thing comes in, then one thing needs to come out, because I don't want to keep accumulating all of this stuff. And then the other thing that I'm doing in order to kind of make sure things continue to go out of the house or declutter is I have a large tote in my closet in the hallway. And as things, like if I try something on and I don't really like it or I don't like the way it fits, I just put it in that tote. And if there's a product where we have duplicates or we have, it's reached the end of the lifespan in our household and it's not necessarily a bad product, but we just don't need it anymore, I put it in the tote, and everything in the tote goes to a consignment shop, and the consignment shop pays me 40% of whatever they sell. So I think that's a good way for me to kind of get rid of some things gradually, where I'm not like, I don't really like to just go around the house and declutter all at once. It's more of a gradual thing for me. So I came up with 3 questions that I'm going to ask myself before I make a purchase. The first one is, will this make my life better in the long run or provide some short-term pleasure that I do not currently have access to? So, I'm pretty relaxed about my purchasing decisions. I'm not trying to say, oh, this is something that has to be, super useful and super ethical. I really don't want to have a lot of rigid rules with it. But I really do want to say, like, is this something that I'm trying to buy to make myself happy for the next 15 minutes? Or do I think that this is something that I could potentially use for the next couple of years? And trying to look at it with a mindset of like, if you bring this into your home, do you want to keep this around for the long haul? The next question is, will this product lead me closer to my goals and manifestations that I want to achieve? So is this something that is going to continue me on the path that I'm traveling? Is it going to lead me closer to my goals? For instance, if it is something like workout equipment, am I going to use it? Like, a lot of people buy dumbbells and then they never use them. So I'm trying to say, like, is this actually going to get me closer to where I want to be? Or is this just another one of those things that I'm buying in the hopes that like purchasing it makes me somehow identify with it? So we have to be careful, because a purchase is not our identity. It's literally just, trading money for goods. So trying not to look too much into that is really important to me. And then the third question is, would I rather have my money in the bank or the joy / utility that this purchase provides? So we have to think about money as like an opportunity cost. So everything that we do with $20, if we do one thing with it, we can't do another thing with it. So we have to think like, would you rather have this or would you rather have that? And so looking at it like that really helps me, because some of the stuff I'm just looking at right now, I'm like, I probably could have not bought that. You know, some of it's like, obviously at the time I really wanted it, but I've got like some roller skates and I never go skating. I could have just rented skates from the skating rink and they wouldn't take up room. I think I paid like 75 bucks for them and then probably went skating like 3 times. So that's just an example of like clinging to an identity of something that like, oh, I go skating. I'm a person who skates, so I need roller skates. When in reality, it probably would have been more of a good decision to just rent the skates when I go to the skating rink and then not have that take up space in my home. So when it comes to things that I passed on, I kept in my notes section on my phone, I made a little list called things I passed on, things that I want to buy, and then things that I've bought. So as the month went on, I kind of kept like a running tally of everything, and the things that I passed on some makeup at Ulta, and then I also passed on some stuff at TJ Maxx. It was this Philosophy Beach Girl shampoo, and I realized that like honestly I like the label and I like the color of it more than I like the actual product, because when I've used Philosophy shampoo, it just doesn't do that well on my hair. It doesn't lather that well, and honestly, like I felt like I was falling for the marketing. And so one thing that I've done lately is I'll put the things that I want in my cart and I'll just kind of walk around with them for a little while and I'll kind of think on it. And then when I get ready to check out, I'll look at everything. I'll kind of give it a second look and then be like, do I really want this? And I realized, no, I like the way that it made me feel when I looked at it, but I don't actually like the product itself. So from that TJ Maxx shopping trip with the Philosophy, I wound up buying like some tea, some bath bombs, and some other body gel that was only $2 instead of the one that was like $10 or $11. So, I mean, I still got that same like feeling of enjoyment, and I actually think I wound up liking the other body wash better. It was by The Body Shop, and obviously, like, I don't know, I feel like $2 versus $11, it shouldn't be that hard of a decision. One of them is literally 80% off of the other cost. So I really feel like I showed some restraint there. Okay, I think overall I did pretty good. I only spent $15.50 after tax, and man, my usual trip in there was usually at least 50 bucks. And I bought a lot of consumable things that I know that I'll use. So while I didn't officially say I didn't buy anything that I didn't need, I bought stuff that I can use, and I bought stuff that is pretty cheap overall. I want to say that like during that trip, that was the first time that I had went shopping during my low buy year. And so I was like, kind of like, okay, let's just like analyze the things that we used to do versus what we're going to try to do now. And what I realized is that it is a big trigger for me to see something that is on sale, because it kind of makes me feel like I need to buy it. It makes me feel like, okay, well, it's never going to be cheaper than this. So it made me kind of purchase things that I don't necessarily need. And so being able to kind of see that pattern play out this month has been really helpful for me, because I've passed on so many deals, but I realized that now, like, I've saved so much money by passing on that type of stuff. So I also had the list on my phone called things that I kind of want, or things that I'm thinking about buying. And the only thing that was on that list was I wanted some hair removal wax strips, and I never bought them because honestly, I'm too scared to do it to myself. Honestly, I'm probably just going to go and get my brows waxed and just be done with it and do it like that. So, but having that thing on the list, I don't know, it kind of helped because, I was able to be like, obviously I don't really want this because it's been on my list all month and I haven't like felt compelled to purchase it. So I feel like having that little, running tab on your notes app could really help you with that. So let's get into the things that I bought in January. So the first thing that I bought was a shower curtain. It was $12 and I needed to replace my old shower curtain. So I actually took my old shower curtain and I put it in the closet because I wasn't sure if I was gonna like my new shower curtain. And the old shower curtain is in a bag in the closet. So I either need to throw that away or wash it and put it in the consignment shop bin. But that is one purchase that I made. The next is press-on nails. I started doing my nails as a hobby. I have really enjoyed it. I found that the Kiss press-on nails work really well, and I've just kind of been doing that to kind of, I don't know, like do a little bit of self-care and a little bit of mindfulness, because you have to kind of sit down and do everything and look at everything. I actually don't have any nails on right now because I just took them off and I'm kind of trying to give them some room to breathe for a day or two. But I've really enjoyed that, and I've found that like when I used to go get my nails done, it would be like, you know, probably $40. And so these nail packs are about $7 or $8 and they last for like 2 weeks. So, I mean, I'm saving money and I'm doing like a mindful activity. So I really, really valued that purchase, and just trying to get good at something has been fun because the first set that I put on looked so terrible. And then the second set, it looked a little bit better. The third set, even better. And then the fourth set was flawless. So it's kind of fun to kind of see yourself build up a skill set of something that you weren't previously able to do, and to just kind of get a little incrementally better at something. I bought a Shein dress from the thrift store. It was like $3.50, and I said I wasn't going to buy any clothes from the thrift store, but I did buy that. It was a really cute dress. I'm going to wear it on probably the next cruise I go on. Did not need to buy that, but I did. The next thing I bought was an outdoor tablecloth for $4, and I really love it. It's super cute. I bought it from the thrift store and I don't regret it at all. I'm going to be using it to read on my patio this summer. I love going outside and sitting in my backyard and just kind of like having a coffee and reading with my dogs out there. So I'm really happy about that purchase because my table has started to like get kind of rusty. So when I put my books and my hand on it, I can kind of get rust on me. So happy to have that tablecloth, and it's washable, and I probably would have paid $20 for it if I bought it like new. I think the worst thing that I did this month in terms of breaking my rules was buying things from the thrift store clothing wise. I bought a t-shirt, I bought a sleep shirt, I bought some pants for Daniel. One of the rules that I was going to say is that I have to try on everything before I buy it from the thrift store. And just recently I went in there yesterday. I bought this shirt, I bought a pair of shorts, and I bought a fanny pack. And I didn't try any of it on, so I broke my rules. And the shorts wound up not fitting. So, I mean, I wasted like $4, which, you know, is like not that much money. But it's the point of the matter of like, if I would have just taken the time to try those on, then I wouldn't have wasted my money and I wouldn't have brought in something in my home that I didn't really need. So, trying to learn from that experience. It's not that I don't want to try things on at the thrift store, but one of the issues is that like they never have a dressing room open. There's always a line, and it's just kind of a hassle. So I guess kind of like, do I want this thing bad enough to go through all of that? And is this something that I'm willing to like let take up my time? And for that matter, I probably could just go to like Academy and buy a new pair of shorts. For all the money that I've spent trying to like save money on thrift store purchases, I sometimes feel like I wind up spending more money in the long run because I'll buy 3 or 4 pairs of leggings and then realize that like they all kind of suck, and then just wind up going to buy like expensive Athleta leggings anyway. So that's something that I'm trying to pay attention to, just kind of like, how do I allow these kind of money saving purchases to take up my time, because ultimately my time is also worth money. If I'm spending my time on this other stuff, then I can't be spending my time running my business. Spending less money this month honestly opened up the door for us to do some more experiential type of things. We went to a concert, we saw Afro Man, we also booked a 5K race that we're going to be doing this month. I think it's like February 11th or 12th. So we're going to be doing a 5K that runs through the woods. And then we also booked a 1-month beach trip. So we're going to be moving to the beach for a month. That is something that we are saving for. One of our major goals is to have enough money to move to the Gulf Shores / Foley area or some kind of coastal town. We're not 100% sure where yet, but we're going to be actually doing that. Like, we're going to be going down there, looking at stuff, looking at houses. And so I feel like this low buy thing almost pushed me to make that decision, because I'm like, look, I have all this extra time now. I have a little bit of like, I don't know, like I was being more like introspective and kind of like future thinking and thinking about goals and like what is holding me back and what am I doing with my life. And so I just said, let's just do it. So we booked it, and we're going to be taking our animals and just kind of like living down there for a month and seeing how we like it. So I'm really excited about that, and I think that the low buy month definitely helped us make that decision. We also have another concert planned. So in terms of like Valentine's Day and stuff, we kind of decided that like we'd rather take a trip than spend a bunch of money on crap. So that's been another thing that we've really like, I don't know, in my relationship, it's been nice to find somebody who also values like experiences over stuff, because, you know, when people want the newest thing or like like the designer clothes or things like that. I don't know, like it's not necessarily shallow of them, but it's just like, I just feel like my money could be better spent elsewhere. And I don't really feel the need to show off or be flashy. And so it's nice to kind of find someone who like lines up with that belief. So one of the things that I'm noticing in terms of like how people market and ads is that pretty much every season has different ads that come out. Like right now, I'm seeing a lot of like 70% off Facebook ads because, you know, in January, a lot of the sales drop off because people have stopped buying since Christmas. January is a tough month for businesses, so you'll see a lot of things that are on super duper sale. You'll see in this next clip that I took a bath using some of the stuff that I already had, and I just really enjoyed just kind of sitting there in my own home and just kind of being with what I had and understanding that like these things don't make me happy. These things are basically just tools that I can use, and they're not necessarily the cause for my happiness. My happiness has to come from within me. This is my setup. I got the towel on me. I got the party balls swinging. I'm using a product that I've had for, at this point, several months. And I'm having a luxurious bath night. So I'm trying to enjoy the things that I already have, sitting on my little bath pillow, and I'm just taking it all in. I'm gonna watch some TikTok and enjoy the life that I do have. So I've also passed up on a lot of seasonal decor, and I've kind of realized over the years that like seasonal stuff is mostly just trash. It's all plastic or really poorly made stuff that, I mean, it just takes up space. It winds up having to go in a tote. So I'd much rather buy things that I can display year round. I will say the exception for me, I guess, is like Halloween and Christmas. But like looking at the things that were coming out for Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Easter, I'm just looking at it and all, I'm like, I don't want to deal with this crap. I'm going to have to find a place to put this. Then I'm going to have to find a place to store it. And then I'm going to have to use time and energy to get it out later. So as I was at the Dollar Tree and seeing all the Valentine's Day stuff, I was like, this stuff is really cute, but I don't need it. And then I realized that like, even though I had wanted to buy some of it, I already had like Valentine's Day socks at home that I've had for like 3 years. And I'm like, you never wear these. So I got them out and wore them, and I was like, huh. Okay, well, did this make me feel any better, or like, is this actually like adding value to my life? And it's really not. And one thing that I got from another video I watched a long time ago was like, when you go to the store and you see a display and it's got like a rainbow display and you buy like only the purple thing from that display, it doesn't look like it does in the store when you get it home because you only bought the purple one. Like they're appealing to your like aesthetic need to like see all these colors arranged, but when you actually get it home, it doesn't really feel or, you know, seem like the product that you saw on the shelf. So I'm trying to think about what will this actually look like in my house, and will this serve me like over the long run? Another thing that I noticed was our Keurig broke, and we've had this Keurig, I've probably had it for like 5 years, and we both had the same exact one. Actually, when Daniel moved in, he threw away his old one, so he's probably going to kill me that we had to buy another one, but I was the one who was like, we don't need duplicates, just throw it away. So we threw it away. So of course, a couple months later, our Keurig broke, and we tried to fix it. I spent like an hour playing with it, trying to fix it, could not get it to work. So I said, you know, like, I guess we have to order a new coffee maker. And then that got me thinking like, okay, well, what kind of coffee maker do we want? Do we want like a nicer one? Do we want like a fancy coffee maker? And then I was like, you know what? I don't really want to do this. Like, I just wanted the same exact one that I had. So we just ordered the exact one that we had, and I was like, okay, I'm so relieved. Like, I don't have to learn how to use this new product. I don't have to like rethink the space that it's going to go in because I know it will fit exactly where my old one was. And it was just kind of interesting to see how like a purchasing decision like that can take up so much of your time and energy if you let it, because I could have gone through like reading reviews and spending hours researching coffee machines. And so just kind of being able to like be like, okay, this is what I want. I want to do the simple thing is really just kind of like leading me towards maybe living a little bit simple and less complicated of a life. Another tip that I got for wanting to purchase something was to read the bad reviews. So just filter by bad reviews, especially if you're like trying to buy one of those like trending products or something like that. Especially you'll see a lot of ads on like Facebook or TikTok for things. Just go in and read a couple of the bad reviews, and I feel like you'll be less compelled to make that purchase. So while January was not perfect for me in terms of my low buy, I will say that I probably spent less than $100 on everything that I've bought. I would say it's probably even under $75, but we'll say 100 to be conservative. So just kind of looking at that, obviously I don't think the money really is the issue. I do think it's the mental energy and the time that I've been spending on this stuff. So I've noticed that I've actually been reading more, I've been working out more, and I've been journaling more. So being able to kind of say, okay, I'm not just gonna go reflexively go to TJ Maxx when I'm not feeling well. I'm gonna sit down and sit with myself and try to analyze these feelings, try to be a little bit more open to experiencing what I'm feeling. And so I think that's been really good for me, and I'm curious to see how the rest of the year is going to go. If you're pursuing your own low buy or no buy year, I would highly recommend that you kind of just take it easy on yourself, because when I first started, I really was like over analyzing it, and now it's a little bit more relaxed and I'm enjoying it so much more. I'm kind of seeing how some of the things that I was doing before probably weren't the most healthy, but I'm giving myself grace and I'm allowing myself to kind of just learn through going through this experience. So my plan is to continue the low buy through the rest of 2023. I'll make an update video for you guys in a couple months and let you know how it's going, but so far what I've noticed is that it has opened up a lot of room for other areas of my life to flourish. By kind of closing the door on some of this other stuff, I've opened another door in these other areas. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. I appreciate it, and I will catch you in the next one.